From the ground up. From the ground up. You've been dreaming about a future bright, more freedom, more wins, more doing it right. Tired of watching from the sidelines, now it's your time. Let's show you how. No more waiting, no more doubt. We're building wealth from the ground up now. From the ground up, brick by brick, turning small steps into something big. Doors are open, don't miss out. We're building wealth from the ground up now. With the right plan, you can tell. Folks do well, we do well. Yeah, the future's looking well. Let's start building right now. From the ground up. From first deal to a full portfolio, learn the game, now you're in control. Every move is a step ahead. Plant the seeds, watch them spread. It's your moment, here's your route. We're building wealth from the ground up now. From the ground up, brick by brick, turning small steps into something big. Doors are open, don't miss out. We're building wealth from the ground up now. With the right guide, you can tell. Folks do well, we do well. Take that chance, no fear, no doubt. Let's start building right now. Let's go! Build it strong, building big, all they know, pay it well, you already know. Folks do well, we do well. From the ground up, here we rise, turning dreams into real life highs. This is it, your breakout route. We're building wealth from the ground up now. Yeah, we said it, ring the bell. Folks do well, we do well. Lights on, crowd loud. Let's start planting right now. From the ground up. From the ground up. From the ground up.
Hey folks, this is Stephen Dow with Keller Williams, First Choice Realty. And tonight, we're going to be talking about something that I love, and that's real estate. And my dog Sammy, you'll probably see him before the show's over. All right, I told you, get back, you get back. All right, let me ask you something, folks. What if you could build wealth without working more hours, without depending on a boss, and with something that throughout the years has historically went up in value over time? That's what real estate investing can do. Now, this is important. I'm not here to sell you some fantasy. Real estate is not get rich quick. and it's not easy. But it is one of the most proven ways to build long-term wealth. Did you know that more than 90% of millionaires in the USA have real estate investments? That's not a coincidence, folks. So let's start with why people invest in real estate in the first place. Well, the first thing is cash flow. And cash flow is money that comes in every month after the expenses. They give us a paycheck. It's what you put in your pocket. Example: the rent comes in, the bills go out, you keep what's left. Appreciation. Over time, property values typically rise. They do go up and down. But if you look at the long term, they steadily rise. You know yourself, you cannot buy a house today for what you did even 10 years ago. There are tax advantages. Investors often pay less in taxes because of depreciation, write-offs, and expenses. Leverage. You can control a $200,000 asset with a much smaller down payment. Stability. People always need a place to live. That's why real estate always goes up over time. That makes real estate probably the most stable long-term investment. So instead of trading time for money, you start building assets that work for you. Let's debunk the biggest myths. Myth number one: you need a ton of money. You need a strategy, not just money. You need perfect credit. Good credit helps, but it's not the end all be all. There are ways to work around it. Myth number three: it's too risky. Let me tell you something. Doing nothing is what's risky. Let that sink in. The key is learning how to minimize risk. Myth number four: you need to know everything first. No. It's learn as you go, just like anything else. However, that can get expensive. So you need to be proactive in educating yourself on this subject. Now, my paper's just now. We're going to talk about how to get started. And we're going to break it down into a simple starting plan. First, get your finances in order. That's the first thing. Check your credit. You don't need a 700 score, but you do need at least a 620. Reduce unnecessary debt. Save some capital, even a small amount. I talk too much of y'all. Sorry. Even a small amount of capital can make a difference. Choose a strategy. You don't need to do everything. Just pick one. One strategy is buy and hold. You simply buy it and you hold it until the market would allow you a profit. That can be 6 months to a year or 5 years, depending upon when you buy and how you buy. Buy a property, rent it out, collect a monthly income. That's another strategy. Become a landlord. Fix and flip is another strategy. You buy low, you renovate it, you sell it for a profit. Personally, that's my favorite, and that's what I've done. And I have no knowledge of construction. Here's something interesting. House hacking. What is house hacking? This is brilliant. You buy a 3-bedroom. You only need one. You rent out your other 2 rooms. Let the tenants cover your mortgage. And basically, you live for free. Duplexes, quadplexes. They're out there, folks. Or you could buy a house and you could rent it out through Airbnb or VRBO. You can make considerably much more per month that way than you can. Excuse me, sorry, as a traditional landlord. You don't invest everywhere. You invest where the numbers work. And this is what you look for. Affordable entry prices. A strong rental demand. Job growth. Here in Bowling Green, it is exploding. If you had a rental property today, you should have no problem renting it out. The fourth thing you need to do is build a team. You do not do this alone. First of all, ding, 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 you need a real estate agent. That's me. Folks, 12 down. You need a lender. You need a contractor. And you may or may not need a property manager. The next step is to run the numbers. And this is where most people mess up. You don't buy based on emotion. You buy based on purchase price, rent potential, expenses, and cash flow. If the numbers don't work, you walk away. Your savvy investors use something called the 1% rule. The 1% rule says if I spend $100,000 on a property, I should be able to bring in $1,000 a month in income. So if you spend $200,000, it should run for $2,000. If it won't, walk away. Here's a realistic first deal example. You buy a property for $180,000. The mortgage, taxes, and insurance will say is $1,200 a month. You rent that property out for $1,800. That leaves you with $600 a month. Now, subtract maintenance, and vacancy. And you might net $400 a month. And you think, $400 a month, that's nothing. But you're forgetting your tenant is making the payments. Every month you gain, even in the beginning, you gain probably $300-$400 a month in equity. Plus, the home is steadily rising in value. And you may actually see, let's say you keep that property 10 years, you could very easily see $500 to $600 more a month in equity that way. So it's you can't just look at what you're putting in your pockets. You've got to look at what you're gaining. So that $600 might not sound life-changing, but when you look at the full picture, you maybe gain $1,500, $1,800 a month on that property. And that's how wealth is built. Here are some common mistakes to avoid. Let me save you some pain. And I need to go. Mistake number 1, overpaying. If you buy wrong, everything else suffers. Mistake number 2, underestimating repairs. Always budget more than you think. Mistake number 3, bad tenants. Screening matters more than almost anything. Mistake number 4, waiting too long. Analysis paralysis kills more deals and more wealth than bad decisions. Call to action. You don't need 10 properties to start. You need 1. And you don't need to be perfect. You just need to begin. So here's your next steps. Learn your local market. Talk to a real estate professional. That's me. 606-425-3640. Start looking at deals. Run numbers consistently. Because the difference between people who succeed in real estate and those who don't is simple. Action. Not someday, Not when everything is perfect. Start now. This is Stephen Dow with Keller Williams, First Choice Realty, here in Bowling Green, Kentucky, a beautiful city. I sincerely hope this has been helpful to you, and I would love the opportunity to earn your business. Remember, folks dwell with Dow, and the ones who start early do even better. From first-time investors to multi-million dollar portfolios, I help people win in real estate. Thank you, and God bless.